There was once a Peruvian potato farmer. His grandfather had grown potatoes, his father had grown potatoes, and now he grew potatoes. Every Sunday, he sold his potatoes at the farmer's market in the little village near his home. But for some time, he had been unable to. His potatoes were being eaten by beetles. Every morning, he would walk back and forth across his potato fields, examining the broken petals of his potato flowers, picking potatoes out of the ground, and frowning when he saw that the beetles had eaten little holes into their surfaces. However, every time the potato farmer looked for the culprits, the beetles were nowhere to be found.
Those damn potato beetles,
He told his wife.
they must be nocturnal. All I know is we haven't had any good potatoes for a month.
She replied.
You have to go out there and find these beetles.
So, one night, the potato farmer set out to find the beetles that were eating his potatoes. He spotted a potato flower in the middle of a field with a lone beetle perched atop it. He walked towards the flower. Without his knowledge, another beetle crawled into his boot and bit him on the toe. His eyes and ears stayed the same size, but his arms and legs got very long and thin. At first, he felt very cold, but then his mustache began to grow and grow, winding its way around his body to protect him. He looked towards the top of the nearest potato flower and saw the beetle he had set out for. The beetle was whistling sadly to himself. The potato farmer placed his hands on the flower and, much to his surprise, began to climb its green stem. It was as if gravity had ceased to exist. A wave of exhilaration rushed over him, but then he remembered that he had a job to do. He followed the sound of the whistling until he reached the edges of the potato flower's petal. He hoisted himself over it and stood on top of the petal, looking at the beetle still whistling with its back turned to him.
Hey beetle,
He shouted.
why am I so small? And why have you been eating my potatoes and potato flowers?
The beetle turned and looked at him mournfully. I supposed you would come, he said in a dignified voice. Please have a seat. My colony and I come from Colorado. We did not ask for much, only potatoes. But one day, big metal machines came and dropped poison rain onto us,
Insecticide.
the farmer said.
I should have thought of that.
No, sir. No. It was horrible. We had to move the colony and head south, living on scraps that we found along the way. But now, life is good. Your potato farm is beautiful, and the flowers are delicious. I knew you would come, though. They always do.
Who comes?
The humans. I only want a few potatoes for my children and grandchildren. Every day I live in fear that the rain will come again. The potato farmer replied.
Maybe we can work out a deal.
A deal? What kind of deal?
Well, I don't want to be this size forever. You want to eat your potatoes in peace? Maybe if you help me get back to normal, I can help you.
I could help you, the beetle said. But will you help my family? My own potato farm?
It will be a separate farm for you and your family. You can eat all the potatoes and potato flowers you would like, but you must first tell me how to return to normal size, and you must leave the rest of the potatoes alone.
I agree to your terms. Listen, in the bottom of a nearby stream there lies a magical blue potato, a tuba of ancient authority and great power. You must swim to the bottom of the stream, place both hands on this potato, and you will return to normal size,"
Thank you, my friend.
the farmer said solemnly.
And may we live in peace for the rest of our days. But tell me, how will I get to this stream?
The beetle did not answer, but only gave the farmer a mysterious smile. Then he breathed a great breath.
He has betrayed me.
The farmer thought as he began to fall. But as he fell, he lost his fear, for he realized that gravity had very little effect on him. The air felt somehow thicker and warmer. He floated down serenely, and when he landed, he heard the rushing of water. The farmer had always been a good swimmer, but right now, it felt like he was swimming through mashed potatoes. But he was determined. He thought of his wife and of his potatoes waiting to be harvested. He pushed his arms and legs as hard as he could, and finally he saw a glimmer of blue at the river's bottom.
At last!
The potato farmer gazed upon the blue potato. It was the most beautiful thing he had ever seen. For a moment, images of every potato he had ever grown, seen, or eaten, flooded his heart like rivers flowing into the sea. He sighed and placed his hands on the magic potato. All of a sudden, he felt himself beginning to grow, and in moments, he was standing with his feet in the stream and his size restored. He walked home smiling and kissed his wife.
I hope you finally kill those damn beetles,
She said.
I have found a better way.